Cupcake, and I'm coming to you with an update. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, maybe more, since I uploaded like an update video. I have done food videos. They're just easier to do because I don't need to like get ready or anything. Not that I didn't really get ready too much today. I put on a little bit of makeup. I didn't shower yet or anything. I kind of just fixed my hair or whatever. And yeah, I'm gonna be a little distracted looking in the camera because my chin is all broken out right now, and I have a cold sore on my piercing, which is it's very painful. My skin is just not doing well right now, and I think it's just I've been really anxious the last little while, and so my body is reacting to the stress, and probably the weather doesn't have a lot, isn't helping. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to film an update. I am, I think, 83 weeks. I looked it up yesterday when I uploaded my food video. I'm about 83 weeks post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery. I had surgery January 26, 2017 in Salt Lake City, Utah. My highest recorded weight was like 296. I was put on metformin for pre-diabetes. I had insulin resistance, so my body wasn't using the insulin it was producing. And that was causing me to gain weight. And I lost about 20 pounds pretty quickly, like over a 3-month period of time when I started metformin. And changed my diet a little bit, and so I got down to the 270s, and I was there for a couple of years. I continued to take metformin. You know, I probably ate like a little bit better. I don't know. Some like stressful things were going on, and I got down to the 260s somehow. When I was a lot more overweight, I didn't weigh myself, except for like when I went to the doctor. We didn't have a scale or anything. So but when I went to talk to my primary care doctor about having weight loss surgery, I was in the 260s, which was a surprise to me. I had to have a 3-month supervised diet for surgery, and I got down to 239. And a lot of that has to do with like they set goals for you, and I gave up soda, and I cut down on my carbs a lot, and so I lost about 5 pounds a month during that time. I also started to walk a little bit, and then I had to go on a 10-day 1,000-calorie diet before surgery, which was very hard. And I got down to 234. And that was my surgery weight. When I weighed myself 2 days ago, I was 157.4 pounds. I've had bagels the last couple of days, so I decided not to weigh myself. Plus, I haven't used the bathroom, so I know that will make a difference. Yeah, I didn't weigh myself last weekend because I ate a lot of pizza. And I know maybe that's like, it's not that I can't take accountability for my decisions. It's just that I know my weight is going to be up when I eat like that, and I know also that when I go back to eating the way that I normally do throughout the week, that my weight will, it will even out and get a little bit closer to where I normally am. So I'd rather not feel like shit about my weight being up. Like, I know it's gonna be up, so it's like it's not necessary for me really to weigh myself right now, kind of a thing. But I did weigh 2 days ago, like I said, and I expected to be up a little bit, and I was up a little bit. But really my weight the last few months is it's been anywhere between 155 and like 159. And I'm 5'4", 5'4" and a half, for reference. I'm 33. But yeah, so anyway, what I kind of wanted to talk about is maintenance and what that's kind of like, at least for me. I used to weigh every day when I was losing weight because, you know, a lot of the time it feels really good when you've lost weight, when you get on the scale. And I was always interested to know, like, where I was at. I mean, you kind of want to see when you're doing something different, you kind of want to see how things affect you and what your progress is. Now I weigh once or twice a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. Just it's less often than I used to. And I know that certain things are going to affect me, you know, when I last used the bathroom, or, you know, have I eaten? What have I eaten? How many fluids have I had? How many ounces of fluids have I drank? Just all kinds of things, you know, whether you're retaining water, if you've been exercising, just all kinds of things will affect your weight, and your weight is going to fluctuate. You know, it just does based on those things. So getting really caught up on a number when you're in maintenance is it's just not good. You know, it doesn't make you feel good. It doesn't really help you. So I would just try not to be obsessive about the number on the scale. Really, whenever, like, no matter where you're at in your journey, you know, whether you had weight loss surgery or not, I wouldn't get too caught up on the number. It's way more important to focus on how you feel and how healthy you are. I think that there's so much emphasis on, you know, weight and BMI that it's really counterproductive a lot of the time, because somebody could be in the best health of their life, you know, but still be considered overweight because of their BMI and whatnot. You know, they may be making even healthier decisions than they used to, and their weight might be up. And so I just don't think that it's not the most important thing to focus on numbers. And, you know, some skeptics might say, oh, you're just saying that because your weight's a little bit up. But no, that's kind of how I felt the whole time. You know, I mean, I definitely have gotten obsessive about the numbers before, and I still do sometimes. But it's just not the healthiest way to be. So I'm doing my best to just, you know, let go of that and just try to live my life and be the healthiest and happiest that I can be. So, as far as what has worked for me with maintenance, and just in my health, like my weight loss journey in general, I've kind of allowed myself since early on to have the things that I wanted, you know, within moderation most of the time, not always, but yeah, in the beginning I followed, you know, my surgeon's plan a lot, but I started to incorporate other things like healthy treats and stuff like that. And you know, I was told, like, by my surgeon's office, you know, that I needed to be careful about those things, but it's kind of like, I'm still losing weight, so I'm going to do what I want to. I mean, I think it's ridiculous for you to say that this is potentially going to stunt my progress when, like, I'm obviously still losing weight, and I'd rather live my life and enjoy myself, you know. That's kind of been my mentality, and so that's something that I've continued to do. And now I'm at a point, and I think honestly, like, it's kind of like normalized being able to eat as normal as possible for me. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to have the same results, because we're all different. Our bodies are going to act differently. But for me, I feel like it's kind of normalized things. You know, I didn't go from like a super, super strict diet and maintain that for a long time and then start to eat this way. You know, I kind of like slowly did those things. And, you know, I've watched a lot of videos, and, you know, I like things that have been particularly helpful have been like bodybuilding type videos, because they have kind of learned to manipulate their bodies. And I just feel like, I don't know, I haven't really seen anybody talk too much about this in the weight loss community, even though I'm sure that it's something that other people have done. I don't know if it's been something that I necessarily consciously did. It was just kind of like, I want to eat healthy most of the time, or healthier most of the time than I did, but I also want to enjoy myself and not worry about it so much. And I'm okay if I don't get to a super low weight, if I'm getting to eat the things that I want to, but also maintaining a pretty healthy body weight and feeling good. And I've been able to do that. You know, I am up a little bit from my lowest weight, and I'm okay with that. I feel like a lot of people are going to kind of stabilize. I mean, they told us when we were in the class, you know, that I went to before having weight loss surgery, that, you know, this surgery, people tend to lose, you know, this percentage of weight, you know, and maintain that percentage of weight. And I've definitely done better than that. You know, I've definitely lost more than, well, I haven't really ever figured it out, how much of my excess body weight. Overall, since my highest weight, I am down about 140 pounds, and right now I'm about 75 pounds down from surgery. So I don't know. I mean, my excess body weight, like a normal BMI for me would be in the 140s. I think between 145 and 147 would be the high end of normal for me. So I am still considered overweight. But it's just weird, like how bodies work. We're all just built so differently. Like right now I wear between a size 2 and a size 4 in pants, and shirt wise I can wear anything from like a small to a large. It just really depends. So, you know, and there are going to be people that are, you know what I mean, a similar weight to me that are going to be wearing like a lot different sizes than I am. You know, so it's just all a matter of like how our bodies are built and where we carry our weight and stuff. And I personally carry my weight in my belly, especially. I definitely have weight other places, you know, but my legs have thinned out a whole lot. I have a pretty decent amount of excess skin on my arms. You can kind of, you know, there's still fat in there, but it's definitely could be removed. That's my arm, and this is just kind of excess skin and fat in there. So yeah, definitely have excess skin in my breasts, and like I said, on my thighs, and then just especially in my belly. So eventually I plan to have skin removal surgery, and I think you know, based on like what I've had like a doctor tell me, and based on just like, you know, things that my husband has said and watching other people's videos and stuff, I think I definitely have like at least 10 pounds of excess skin to be removed. And I know a lot of people think that they're gonna have a lot more skin removed than they end up having, but then I've seen some of the people that have like more of a similar body type to me, and they tend to be like, they have a higher amount of skin to be removed. I mean, like my primary care doctor, my prior primary care doctor, he said, because I had told him that, you know, I was, you know, thinking that maybe I needed to lose like another 10 pounds or whatever, and he said that's basically just the excess skin that I'm carrying around. So anyway, so ultimately I'm okay with where I'm at. I'm you do have to make conscious choices to maintain. I mean, you can't just eat whatever you want whenever you want. And yeah, it does get, you know, I've heard this for a while, and everybody's like, oh, it gets so much harder when you get further out. Yeah, I mean, before you are still eating less calories and your body is still in this like weight loss mode, and like you lose weight kind of no matter how you're eating. And so it does change. Like I have to actively eat a certain way the majority of the time, or I have to compensate with exercise, or I have to you know, I have to cut back in certain places, try and eat a little healthier. I feel like I'm still constantly figuring things out, trying new things and experimenting, and it's helped me to maintain a certain weight. I think there's lots of people, and I'm sorry, I've kind of like filmed this video like a couple of times now, and so if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry, but a lot of people will get down pretty low, and they're just not able to maintain a very strict diet or a very highly regimented exercise schedule, and they're not able to keep that up, and so then they end up putting on a lot more weight. Like right now I'm about, you know, like I'm within 5 pounds of the lowest weight that I've been. So I think that that's pretty successful, especially because I eat probably between 1,800, like at least 1,800 calories almost every day, and definitely more than that a lot of days as well, where you're gonna see a lot of people that eat far less calories than I do, that are still a much higher weight than I am, and that are struggling. And part of it, like I went to see a different surgeon than the surgeon that did my surgery, because he was giving me bad advice, and I didn't feel like he cared. And so I saw a different surgeon, and she told me I needed to increase my calories, and so I did that, but I also continued to increase my calories to a place where like I feel good. I used to feel really dizzy a lot of the time, and now I feel satisfied as much as I can. I definitely still have a food addiction. I definitely still indulge and overindulge, and you know, deal with my feelings with food and eat when I don't need to. I still do those things, not as much as I used to, and part of it is that I just physically can't do that like I used to, but yeah, I still struggle with those things, but I just manage the best that I can. And something I've done from early on is allow myself to have things that I want to eat, and I think that has ultimately helped me, because if I went, you know, from one extreme to the other, I think that I probably would have gotten down further, but then I probably would not be where I'm at either. I think I would be at a higher amount, or a higher weight than I am now, if I had not done that. So it was kind of like a steady increase instead of a fast increase of calories and carbs. So I've kind of given my body a chance to get used to eating this way. I'm not saying that is going to work for everybody, but it's kind of what I did, and it's not necessarily been super intentional. I mean, there's some intention there where I'm just like, well, I'm gonna want to be able to eat these things, you know, for the rest of my life, some of these things, you know, in moderation, and so I'm going to eat them, and I'm gonna make sure my body is used to eating that way, because, you know, like I said, if you go from one extreme to the other, you're probably going to, like, even though you get maybe to a lower body weight, you're probably going to gain back more weight, where I've kind of had more of a steady, you know, I've stayed within the same 5 pounds for, like, I don't even know, a year now. So it's worked for me. Yeah. And I think the other thing that I do that has helped me with maintenance, and again, this isn't necessarily going to work for everybody, it's just something that I do, is I eat small meals frequently. And there's a lot of people are doing other things right now. You know, intermittent fasting, you know, sticking to 3 meals a day and trying not to snack. People do all kinds of things, and you really just have to find what works for you. You know, during the week, I definitely eat more often, but I tend to eat healthier. I'm very kind of, like, I have to pack my lunch, my breakfast, my lunch, and my snacks, and, you know, I've been working till 6 at night, and so the majority of what I'm eating is at work, and so I have to plan ahead, and that's what I do. And that helps me stay on track, and that's the way I eat the majority of the time, because, you know, I'm working 5 days out of, you know, of 7. And on the weekends, I tend to eat less, but I tend, like, less food, but I also tend to eat more foods that are higher in carbs than during the week. So, like, for instance, I got a box of bagels for my husband and I, and I've eaten 4 of them over this weekend. So normally bagels are not something I normally eat. You know, bagels I've actually only had once, one other time since surgery, I think. And then I like to eat stuff like donuts. I fucking love donuts, but I only eat those, you know, like 1 to 3 times a month. So it's not super frequent. I pretty much stick to the same things, and that has helped me. But what I was saying is, so I'll eat less on the weekends, and it kind of gives my body a break. But I eat, like I said, also more carbs. During the week, I eat high protein. I try and eat a good amount of protein all the time, but, you know, it just happens to be less so when I'm ingesting more carbs on the weekends. I eat higher protein and lower carb during the week, which, like I said, is the majority of the time, and I eat often. And part of it is just that that's how I get through my work day, because I'm sitting and I'm bored and I'm not satisfied, and so yeah, I just want to eat. So I try and make the things that I eat, you know, pretty decent for me. You know, that's like protein shake and protein bars and meat, cheese, and nuts and boiled eggs and stuff like that. I mean, I do have other things sometimes, but that's the majority of what I eat. Oh, and yogurt. I eat a lot of yogurt. And I drink a lot of fluids. I drink a lot of tea, and I drink a lot of milk mixed with cashew milk, because I'm not a good water drinker. And I know that probably sounds weird if you haven't watched my other videos, but I enjoy it. It just changes the consistency of the water that I'm drinking, and it makes it easier for me to drink it. Adds a little bit of flavor and texture, and so yeah, that's what I do. And plus, cashew milk is low in calories. I've done like the drops and stuff like that. I did that for quite a while, but it got old. The cashew milk is something that, like, I haven't gotten tired of yet. It's only like 25 calories for a cup. And I probably drink about 4 cups a day, just mixed with water throughout my day. So anyway, so I drink a lot of fluids, and I eat often during my work day, and I think that that's helped with my metabolism. I couldn't tell you for sure, and I don't know how things will progress, but that's what I've been doing for a while. And yeah, I think that because I'm ingesting more, my body has to like kind of learn to keep up with that. Also, of course, you know, I do exercise some. I try and do 2 to 3 days a week of cardio, you know, 30 to 45 minutes. It's like cardio and strength training. Usually I'm just watching pop sugar videos on YouTube. Sorry if you can hear that. That's my fucking neighbors. The walls are so thin here. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, so those are the things that I've been doing that have helped me. And again, I don't know that they'll help you. You have to kind of just try different things and see what works for you, and just kind of live a lifestyle that you can live and maintain, and that you don't hate, and that you can find enjoyment in. So those are the things I do. You know, from early on, I incorporated foods that I wanted to be able to eat at times, but the majority of the time I eat pretty healthy, you know, high protein, low carb, and I definitely allow myself to have things that I want to, and then I eat, like during the week, I eat often, small amounts, and on the weekends I eat less, but higher carb, and that's what I've been doing, and that's it. Like I said, that's what has seemed to work for me. I just kind of live the way that I want to live, but you know, I definitely have to make sacrifices still. You know, I definitely can't just have everything that I want all the time. I have to tell myself no a lot of the time. But I think you'd be surprised. I still get to eat pretty normally. And so yeah, just, you know, try different things and see what works for you. One thing that I can tell you that like during like dinner is usually pretty low carb for me, because I really like to have dessert, and because I like things, you know, other things that maybe a tad bit higher in carbs, but usually it's just dessert. I'm a dessert every night kind of person, and so if I eat lower carb for dinner, then that kind of gives me more room to have more carbs with dessert. So that's also something that I do. But yeah, just try different things, see what works for you. That's how I've been able to maintain within 5 pounds. Like I said, I don't know what will happen as time goes on. But if you adjust accordingly, keep an eye on your weight, keep an eye on how things affect you, I think that you'll do all right. I think going very long periods of time without weighing yourself is a mistake. And I think going from one extreme to another is also a mistake, because those kind of changes are hard to maintain. So small changes over time are much easier to maintain, and I think that you'll probably have more success if you do that, because you may have initial success by changing things. Like a lot of, you may lose a lot of weight if you go, you know, you cut back on your calories a lot very quickly. But being able to maintain that will probably be difficult. And so I'm just in the mindset that I would rather be up a little bit higher in my weight and maintain there than get to a very low weight that I can't maintain. For me, that's what works. And so yeah. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling. I probably repeated myself a lot, but hopefully that's helpful. Something that my counselor said to me this week that I wanted to share that I think could be helpful is, especially I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety this week, it's kind of along the lines of that, like this phrase that you keep hearing people say, treat yourself. But he said, reward yourself throughout the day. Because I told him I struggle with food a lot still. do things, and this will help with anxiety, but which also helps, you know what I mean, so that you aren't necessarily indulging as much if you're like me, you know, with food when you're stressed out. But reward yourself in different ways throughout the day. Basically, to me, that means do things that make you feel good, you know, and it's not like let's super indulge all the time kind of thing. He gave examples like listen to something that makes you feel good and relaxed. So for me, you know, I was listening to music while I was working the other day, and I heard a Coldplay song, Green Ice, from the Rush of Cold Blood to the Head. I can't remember. It's one of their earlier albums. And like it was just soothing when I listened to it. So I decided yesterday morning or the day before to listen to that while I was getting ready, and it just really relaxed me. And so doing things like that, you know what I mean? Doing things to purposely self-soothe and make you feel better is going to help. You know what I mean? Put a little cream in your coffee or your tea, you know, eat a healthy snack and really savor it. For me, I really like walking at work and listening to music and stretching. Stretching feels so good. So just do things that feel really good, and like be conscious about it, like being a reward. Like I'm rewarding myself. I'm treating my body the right way, and it feels amazing to be able to do this kind of thing. If you have that mindset and you're doing things that make you feel good and help you relax, it's really going to help your anxiety. And so that's just something I wanted to share. You know, you don't have to always see food as your only option to make you feel better if you're like me, and have used that as means to cope with things and to help you feel better. Find other things that make you feel good and really indulge in those things. Not indulge, but necessarily like don't go overboard, but just really enjoy those things, you know, whether it be listening to music or just anything, taking care of yourself, you know, doing your nails, doing your hair, spending extra time on your makeup, taking a really long hot shower. I like to do that. Just stuff like that, you know, really do things to make you feel better, and it will help. So anyway, I just wanted to share that, but I hope you guys are doing well, and I appreciate you watching, and I will talk to you later.